Hey, and welcome to Homeschool-ology. Today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit more in depth about what we do for art. I know I've mentioned this in my last couple of videos, but I wanted to actually show you guys inside these books a little bit and kind of what we do for art. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for being here, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. On this channel, I like to talk to you guys about all things secular homeschooling and maybe a little bit about motherhood. If you have checked out any of my recent videos, you know that we've been using and are continuing to use Teaching Art with Books Kids Love and Evan Moor's How to Teach Art to Children. I'm loving both of these books very, very much. It is going very, very well. So in a few minutes, I'm going to give you a down view of like our list of how we've been using these in combination with each other. And I'm also going to give you a little view inside each of these books. I do have the Evan Moor book as a PDF, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a screen view of that. But basically, the first part of these books are similar. They contain the elements of art. And so I've just been coming to for instance, the texture chapter in this book and the texture chapter in Evan Moor book, and looking at the lessons and deciding what I want to do and what I don't want to do and what books we want to include, and then just laying that out on this sheet here, and then we've just been doing them as we get a chance to do them. We're supposed to do art every Wednesday and Thursday. Doesn't necessarily happen around here, especially now that they're doing an art class outside of the home. They're both, my daughter's taking wheel throwing pottery, so the actual pottery wheel, and my daughter's taking like a clay class. So they both are doing art outside of the home right now as well, so we're not getting to it as much as I would like to in the home, but that's okay, because they both love art and do art all the time outside of our formal instruction. Yeah, so I guess basically I'm just going to give you guys a down view of this book and a screenshot of the other book and the instructions that we have been doing. So this is How to Teach Art to Children by Evan Moor. I have the digital copy, which I really enjoy, but here you can see that it is broken up into 2 parts. Part 1 is learning about the elements of art, and part 2 is using the elements of art. So we are currently still in part 1 here, and when we get to part 2, I'll update you guys. But here is the materials list and a words to know list, and then part 1, line, shape, color, value, texture, form, and space, which are the same as the other book that I'll show you guys later. And so I've just been matching up the chapters per se to coordinate to each other. So I'll look at the one here and then say, I want to do this activity and then this activity, and then I'll get a book from the other book and do an activity from in that book as well. So this kind of just gives you a general idea of what it is. It's just a bunch of activities according to teach the different kinds of line. Okay, this is Teaching Art with Books Kids Love, and the first part is set up the same way as the Evan Moor book with line, shape, texture, value, color, and space. And so that is kind of the way we've been doing things right now. We've done value and color and line and shape. We haven't done texture yet, so that's our next one, I believe. So the way this book is set up, there is this is the introduction to the book. So it gives you kind of in a nutshell what line is, and then taking a closer look, giving you more detail. Then it gives you some examples of fine art to look at, and then it gives you children's literature that goes along that demonstrates that art element, and then it gives you an activity to do with after you read the story. So we have been basically taking the lesson from here and taking the lessons from Evan Moor. I tend to like to do the Evan Moor lessons first and then the teaching art with books kids love lesson, and it's been going really well. So here's kind of what we've done so far. This is kind of my log for our portfolio. So as you can see, I started the Evan Moor book before we got the teaching art with books kids love book. So mine's is only the Evan Moor book, but you can see in shape we added in the second book where we read stories, and this is kind of the flow that we've been using to go through all of our lessons. So that is what our general layout is. So that's basically how our art lessons have been going. For the most part, I do want to add that we have been using geography through art in our geography unit study. So they are also getting a lot of art in this book as well. And I do already have a video showing how I use this book here and a little bit of a flip through there as well, so if you want to check that out. And then I'm going to just show you like a few other books that I have in the house that we draw from just whenever we are wanting to. So this book, I believe, was a recommendation from Build Your Library, if I remember correctly. So it's just a general art book that has a lot of information and some activities in it. And so if we are looking through one of these and we see an activity we want to do, we'll pull from that. And then I believe this one as well was also a recommendation from Build Your Library, and we really like this one a lot. We used it for a time. What I liked about it the most was that it kind of goes through history, so you can tie this one well in with a history, like a world history unit study, which is why Build Your Library recommended it. Unfortunately, I could never get the interactive part to work. I was really looking forward to that, but I will try again one day, maybe, and maybe you can get it to work. But we really like that one. And then this is a couple of Usborne books. So this is like art skills, which is just a few activities for like drawing and making art projects and things like that. My girls will reference this sometimes and just pull something out just for fun. And then for my littles, I have the Big Book of Colors from Usborne, and we really like this one. I love this interactive color wheel that it has in here. And then it just goes by each color. It's a really pretty book, a really fun book for littles. And then one of my daughter's favorite books is this one from Usborne, that is Lift the Flap, Questions and Answers About Art. And it's got really good information, and then of course it's a fun book to look at because you get to lift all the little flaps, and it gives you some more information about art that is there. So those are some books that we currently are loving for art, and yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing for art. This is probably going to take us through the rest of the year, but then I'm a little clueless on. I am a crafty person, and I do produce lots of works of art. I sew and I bake and decorate cakes and all that kind of stuff. But the actual foundation of art I never really got in school because I just thought I wasn't any good at art in school. And like to draw, even my stick figures need help, guys. So that is not my area of expertise. So if it is your area of expertise and you know of some art programs that you guys have really been enjoying, I'd love to hear them down in the comments, because I'd love to expand on what we are already doing. Even though it's working, it's great, it's wonderful. Both of my kiddos seem to be really into art, and I'd like to foster that as much as I can for them. So I need your tips, I need your tricks. And while you're down there, I hope you will subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. And I think that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you'll stick around, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye!